Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of PhDyer. I hope you've had a great week, and I hope you guys have kind of seen my Instagram feed. I've had a great week as well because I've been in a bed and breakfast in Lancaster, Amish Country. We had a great time. We were actually there celebrating my parents' 32nd anniversary, so quite the celebration. We had a really nice dinner the night of their anniversary. We did some shopping. We even took a buggy ride with an Amish woman who she basically gives rides, I think, for her as a living because their wives don't work full time. Once you become a wife, she said you do like part-time work and you mostly take care of the kids and your husband in the home. So it was like her part-time job. And so we took a ride with her, and she basically gave us a tour of her homelands, like where her home is and where the farm, like her family farm was, and where some of the other farms were. So we got to really see kind of like the back roads of Amish country and the people that actually were hard at work there, harvesting some corn and tobacco this time of year. We got to go into this really cool covered bridge, and it was a really nice ride. It was a little bit chilly, but it was nice. We got to knit a little bit while we were taking the tour, so that was good. Yeah, so it was really lovely. Our rooms were wonderful. We had a really good time. The only thing I regret is that I did not get to knit or cross-stitch enough. You know, my husband, after going back to work, he hasn't tried knitting again. I don't know if he ever will or not. I mean, he kind of liked it. I felt like maybe he'd give it a better shot, but now that he's working... Oh, dropped my little yarn ball. Sorry. Now that he's working, I don't think he's going to pick it up very often. I mean, it was hardly ever before he worked, so... And I don't blame him. When I worked, things were few and far between, so... But I'm going to try to get him to pick it up again. But I did bring it on vacation with us, his little hat that he started. He just wasn't really in the mood to knit. And that's okay. I didn't, press the issue. But it didn't give me as much time as I would have liked to do my own crafting. What he did do was read a really good book. And that kind of gave me time. Like, I would sit by the fireplace and knit while he read his book out on the balcony, because it was a little chilly for me, so I didn't do the balcony the whole time. But then my dad was kind of bored, so we would hang out with them, and so I didn't get too much time to craft as much as I would have liked to. But like I said, I still had a wonderful time, and it's nice that we got to spend it with family, especially for a really nice occasion. So we're back, and I got my darn good yarn shipment like before we left. And so we had counted everything up, and it turns out that they are one bag short on the shipment. So the boxes came extremely disheveled because of like FedEx or whatever, so they had to put a claim in, and I'm missing like a 10-pack of yarn, so they're going to, I think, put a claim in and try to get that back to me. I don't need it for a while, obviously, because I have like literally 2,000 more to dye up, but they're gonna get, that was the only issue like with the shipment. So because I got the order before we left, I had already been kind of down a few days on the dyeing process because I had kind of calculated about 25 a day to get them done in the 2.5-week time frame for each colorway. And so last night I ended up doing like 100 of the Peace Love Yarn colorway. It's like a fluorescently speckled rainbow colored colorway. So I did 100 of those, and I felt like I got hit by a truck this morning. It was like as if I did like a major workout. So I can't say it was bad. Like I thought it was going to take a whole lot of time, like that it would take me days to do such a quantity, but it really only took me like 5 hours to get everything done, since it was like it's just one colorway. Normally, because I dye to order, I am constantly making up the 5 or 6 colors it'll take to do a variegated colorway. And if I have like 6 or 7 different personal orders that week, it can take a long time to dye everything up, because you're constantly making up diluted solutions or stock solutions of what you need for those 6 different colorways, and that could be 6 colors per colorway. So a lot of times it takes quite a bit of time, and I think I had kind of missed that point when I was planning out my timeline. So I don't think it's going to be awful. I really enjoyed dyeing them up, and it went smoothly. Hopefully they love them. So yeah, everything was good with that. And so I've started that. I am going to do batches of 100, I think, to give myself time for the Patreon, to make sure I'm still doing my making, and that way I get days off. Like if I did 25 a day plus personal orders, I'd probably be swamped dyeing every day of the week. And although I do love it, it's very physical and you sweat to death. You're basically steaming yourself for hours. So I want to give myself some days for making and for video editing and things like that. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. Besides that, I've been working on my Vita shawl. It's grown in size. I'm dying to see it off the needles, because it's supposed to like be like wings almost. And honestly, like you can't really tell that on the needles. There's just so much shawl on the needles. It's like crunched up on here. So kind of excited to get it done. It's almost done. It's like a blanket on me. Look. It like covers my whole lap here. So I am excited to get it off the needles and to start something new. And on the trip, I kind of wanted to knit something else from the fall collection. This is the Japanese Maple and Virtue colorways that I had wanted to show off a while back. And they're beautiful for the fall. Honestly, they're mauve kind of colors, so I think they'd be beautiful for any time of year. But winter and fall probably mostly. But I wanted to show off the Sunflower Sunsets colorway. So I started a bandana cowl by Pearl Soho, and I did it in that colorway, and it turned out really nice. It's only like my second time doing short rows in this manner, and I did like mess it up, and then I kind of panicked because we were at the bed and breakfast and I had to pull it out. And I was worried like if I pulled it out, it wouldn't stop at the short rows and maybe I'd mess up and I would drop things. I pulled it out. It totally pulled out fine. Like it was absolutely fine. And then I redid them and it was like perfect, and I was so happy I ripped it out. It was so easy to do, thank God. So originally I got messed up on the right side and wrong side. So the way it's doing it is like or wrap and turns, and so you have to like knit up to the wrap and turn, and then you have to pick up the wrap and turn and then come back the other way to another, and you wrap and turn again. So you're constantly like alternating between wraps and turns. And I think somewhere along the line I mistaked something that was supposedly what I thought was a wrap, and it wasn't. And so the right sides and wrong sides got mixed up, and I ended up having like pearl bumps on my knit side, and so I had to rip the whole thing out. But look, it came out great. I redid it, and what I did was, I did what my mom said, and I put markers for each wrap and turn. So I have like little markers on each side. So now when I knit back and forth, I just knit to that marker, wrap and turn again, and do it all over again. But look how gorgeous this colorway is. It is like the best, like bright golden for the fall. I'm just dying to wear it with a jean jacket. So I'm quite excited, and I am definitely going to be continuing this. I really like it. I held it with mohair that's also Sunflower Sunsets. But quite a few people are ordering the harvest braids now, and they're mixing and matching, and it's so cool to kind of see what they pick, you know. Like I picked this one, but you could have easily picked Autumn Wheat and gave it the same golden kind of glow. And it might have even given it like a more subdued golden glow, because the Sunflower Sunsets has a little bit of that brighter orangey kind of color mixed in with the yellow. So the Autumn Wheat might have actually toned it down a bit if you don't like it as bright. But I think it's going to be great. So yeah, I started this and then I just worked on the beater shawl. And that's all that I worked on. Oh, let me show you the cakes. Look at this. Absolutely amazing. These are in the 100% wool. I really like the twist on this base. And look at the mohair. It's like a golden fluff ball. Loving it. So I'll continue kind of working on that. It's like a simple knit, and I really enjoy like having something to go to when the lace becomes too much on this one shawl. Remember my Ziggy shawl? Yeah, never pick that up again because the lace is just way too much for me right now. So yeah, I got that started. I'm almost finished this. I have like just a few sections left. So these are my main kind of, I need to get them off the needles projects. If you've seen the behind the scenes for September, it was like a little late into the first week of October because I really wanted to get the Amish Country stuff in there for you guys. And because we did a photo shoot while we were there. So I finally got a photo shoot of like all the Age of Gold and the Birds of a Feather shawl that I've been promising you guys. And John took the photo shoot. He did such a good job. It was so cute. So yeah, those are my projects. I did not stitch, and I haven't stitched for quite some time since my wrist was hurt, because right after all that happened with my wrist, the dyeing took over and I got so many orders, which I'm so excited about, that I actually went like a week and a half without crafting. I don't think anything. I think maybe I knitted a row or something. But yeah, I ended up basically just like taking a break from like knitting and cross stitching just to do all the dyeing. So I'm really happy to be back knitting, and I'm really kind of doing well with my wrist. I do still feel that it's kind of still injured, so I kind of take a break in between instead of knitting all day like I was, which sucks, but I mean, you know, I still have to use it to work, so I have to kind of ration how much knitting I can get done. I've tried Continental, but it really is not working for me as well as I'd like it to. I just can't seem to get my left hand to do what it's supposed to do. It's crazy. So like I kind of go back and forth between Continental and the knitting I'm doing now, which I don't even know what I'm doing now. Like I don't know what that's called. It's almost like a form of throwing because I throw with the pointer finger on my right hand. I don't know what that's called. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, so I kind of be going back and forth until the Continental becomes like muscle memory, and maybe eventually I'll be more fluent with it. But for now, I really like my old way of knitting, even though it hurt my wrist. I think I'll just back off on how much knitting I actually do, and then maybe it won't be so bad, you know? What else is there? Oh, my plants are doing really well. I actually brought them inside a few weeks ago, like I told you guys. I did get my heat lamp, and so every now and then I kind of put the lamp on, give them a little bit of extra light, but they are doing fantastic just in the windowsill themselves, and I still use them regularly when I'm cooking dinner and such. So they're doing really well. I'll probably still keep them in the windowsill for the time being. I don't know when I'll probably harvest and start again next summer. I'm not really sure. As you know, the dog had been sick. Poor dog had like a tonsil infection from allergies. Like they had just gotten so swollen and inflamed. We took him to the vet right before we left, and he's doing a lot better, but the windows are back open again, and he's starting to kind of cough again. So I'm getting worried that maybe the allergies are just so bad we're going to have to keep the windows closed and just limit him to like walks, because it was an ordeal for him. I felt really bad. But he is doing better. He's not coughing as much. He's been on steroids and an antibiotic for the last, like, almost 2 weeks now. The steroid just made him, like, super sick. Like, he seemed a little bit weak. Like, I'm playing yarn chicken. A little bit weak and a little bit kind of, like, exhausted but couldn't sleep type of thing. Which I guess is what it kind of does to us, too. So, it makes sense. So, yeah, he's doing better. Oh, the house that we found that was so perfect, we put in our bid. I don't know if I told you this 2 weeks ago or not, or a week ago. I don't know, but we put in a bid and the buyer accepted and everything is in motion, and hopefully if everything goes well with the financing, which the mortgage lender said should go fine because we were pre-approved, and he said based on everything he thought it would be okay, that we would get that house. So I'm really excited for that. You'll get to see, like, behind the scenes and see the making of my actual, like, dye studio. Instead of taking up somebody else's space, it'll be like my own space. It's a 4-bedroom home, so I'm hoping it will have a nursery eventually if we get lucky and get pregnant. It'll have the dye studio, hopefully a making studio as well, because you can't have them in the same room or dye will get all over everything. And then our bedroom, of course. So to have, like, I think the making room might double as, like, a guest room if I can get, like, a day bed or something in there, but we'll see. But I'm really excited. It's 4 bedrooms. The yard is gorgeous. I really am looking forward to, like, a barbecue station out there. Just really making it a home. It'll be the first home I've ever owned. I've always rented, and I can't stand renting. It's awful. Or at least my experiences renting have not been great ones. So yeah, I think, well, I'm hoping everything will be fine. We just have some waiting to do. They said it could take up to 30 days for us to find out, so we're just waiting, and we'll probably check in with the mortgage lender on Monday, tomorrow, to see what's going on. Some future projects. Oh, I want to show you what I got. I don't do super chunky yarn in my shop. So when I went to the yarn shop in Lancaster, I went right for this awesome, super chunky kind of, it's a little thicker than worsted, I think. It's like 100% Highland wool. And I got it in, like, these, like, some of them neutrals and then the purples in there. I love that too. It's kind of neutrally too. And yeah, so it is Mercado yarn, 100% Highland wool, and I'm going to make a chunky sweater out of this eventually. I'm hoping. So I got those. That'll be a future project. Once I have to get this stuff off the needles before I will start another large undertaking such as that. Although I think it will knit faster because it's larger. I've never knitted chunky, but I hear it goes really fast. I also got some stuff for quilting. So we went to this quilt shop and I got, like, this floral type fabric. It's got, like, actually I think I can show you on the wheel. So this is the same thing, but it's scrappy. This is called, I think it's called a jelly roll. But yeah, it has, like, the floral grays, and then it goes into, like, reds, blues, like vintagey kind of colors, navies and tans. And I think I am going to make a scrappy quilt. My mom has that book that we showed you guys the other week, and I think I'm going to make, like, a quilt that has, like, the little home in the middle. It's like a little house, and then, like, some hearts and other stuff on the outside, and make it for my first home, you know, to be like a special quilt. So we did get those, and that will be something I'll be starting. I still need some rulers and, like, maybe a different iron. There are some, like, tools I have to get before I can dive in. So that won't be any time in the very immediate future, but hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll be able to round up some money to get some stuff for the quilting done. Okay, well, I think that's all I have for this week. like I said, I hope everybody's busy making, and I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy watching the Amish Country stuff after this. You'll get to see our buggy ride and all the cool stuff we did. And I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes, seeing the actual room and like our balcony. Those are some things you won't get on the normal vlog. So I thought that was a little bit more of a like family time kind of behind the scenes, rather than like I always do like a skate I'm dying or a kit we're doing, and how I go about doing that. And I thought this was a good change of pace. So let me know what you guys think of that. I thought it was cool. So I'm also doing Vlogtobers if you're watching those. Oh my god, we were just laughing because the last one I did yesterday, day 3, I've been editing them on my phone, and I'm learning how to use the editing program, and for some reason I left in like a 50-second clip of me making a tuna fish sandwich, which should have only been like short clips, and then of us like having lunch together. And oh my god, it was like the longest tuna fish sandwich ever, and we were dying. Last night I was all by myself like laughing. I was like, I made a tuna sandwich. That's all I did for this video. It's hard on quarantine, guys, to find content. Like, sometimes making a tuna sandwich is the only thing you did that day. So if you're watching those, thanks. It's my first Vlogtober, so bear with me. I'm learning like everybody else. So enjoy your week. Oh, and we have a new patron. Her name is Donna. Everybody welcome Donna if you get a chance. So thank you, Donna. I'm so excited to have you watching PhDyer. You came in at such a great time. Like, everybody's kind of been with me from the beginning and watching as I kind of got out of my PhD and the hard times we went through right after that. And now I'm hoping it's going to get really exciting with the home and with the dyeing, because like my dyeing and WoolenWomenFibers has really taken off. So I'm glad you're here, and thank you so much for your support, because it really makes a difference, and it lets me do stuff like this, like the quilting, and I love this stuff, and I love to share it with you. So don't forget, everybody, if you have any makes, anything, it doesn't have to be my yarn, it doesn't have to be yarn, it could be quilting, it could be sewing, it could be any sort of makes. Let me see what you're making. Send them to me, tag me in an Instagram post, whatever you do, so you can get featured in the making update or on Instagram or in the Vlogtober videos. So yeah, I always love to see what you guys are doing. So, and thank you to everybody who does send stuff, because that's awesome. It really, really makes me excited, especially when you guys do stuff in my yarn. You come up with such cool stuff, and then I get to see it knit up, and it's really neat. There will be another knit night this month. I'm going to do it closer to the end of the month like I usually do. And I'll give you like a week and a half notice like I usually do. I'll probably put a poll out a week and a half beforehand to see if there's like a better time for you guys. I will probably stray away from Fridays because Knit in the Pit is every other, or so maybe I won't stray away from Fridays. I'll just do it the alternating Friday of Knit in the Pit. So Knit in the Pit occurs every other week on a Friday. So maybe I will make it a week that Knit in the Pit isn't. And if you guys haven't checked that out, check out Knit in the Pit, because it's so much fun and the people are just so wonderful. That's where I met Baltic Yarns. And I did drop those things off. If you do live close to Jersey and you're in that Asbury Park area, check them out for the New Jersey Wool Walk until, I think it goes on until the 11th. WoolenWomenFibers is there now. It's like my first yarn store, and so excited. I'm hoping I can like get over there at some point to see like where I'm at on the wall, because they still had to tag everything and like put it together when I had last when I dropped them off. So yay, we'll see what happens. Lots of exciting things. So have a great week. Bye. You guys, I'm like packing for 3 days. I have a small pile of clothes, but look at this dilemma. I emptied the entire gigantic craft tote, and I'm planning on taking all the projects. I don't think they're gonna fit. Yep. I just can't decide. Like, I don't feel like I can just pick one. Who knows what will strike my fancy? I've even brought some of my Sunflower Sunsets little cakes because I feel like maybe I want to cast something on. And some needles. I'm obsessed. I brought like 4 stitching projects. And I brought my spinner. My little hand spinner. I am officially nuts. Send help. We are on our way to Twin Pines, bed and breakfast. It's about a 2-hour drive. 2 hours in the car.
A little longer because of construction though.
Yeah.
Thanks, construction.
Mommy and Daddy took a separate car in case we want to do separate things while we're there. So we each have a car. And I guess we're just gonna relax and listen to some music. I'm gonna try to knit in the car, but I usually get car sick if I do, unfortunately, so we'll see. But we're really excited. Are you excited? Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm too excited to sleep.
Yeah, we just had Denny's and now we're on our way. So I brought way too many projects. Probably won't work on half of them, but at least I have options, right?
Driving South Carolina tag still.
Oh, and we have our large... That's my pillow in case I want to nap. We have my huge box of Baltic yarns in the back because on our way back from the B&B, we're going to actually drop it off at a store. So
Road trip.
yeah, so it's going to be quite the road trip. Like I made a face, I was like, and he was making a face. Get up there. There you go. God, this tinker tour doesn't move fast.
That's why it costs $12 to fill my tank.
Yeah, like Daddy went by and he was like, we're here. Wow, it's beautiful. That's really pretty. I wonder if Mommy's here.
Looks like I don't see their cars.
Neither. Maybe they got lost? I hope not. Wow, there's legitimately no one here. 2 cars. That's good. We're going to be all by ourselves. We don't get COVID. We're in the Kettle Village, and there's not only village quilts, there is a yarn shop right next to it. It is my dream place.
Step out the car and there you go.
Lancaster Yarn Shop. sitting on a buggy.
pumpkin. Can they see them?
Huh? Over here. There's one, and there's the other. Yeah, looks
Little
cute.
pumpkins on the back of the truck.
It's funny.
Nice chic Christmas comes around.
We're on a
November
body
1st, and then
ride.
Christmas
And you
bags.
can't see
I'm gonna
my
make
page?
Christmas
Oh.
table runner.
There you go. Too tall.
I want to do everything. I want to spin.
Okay, that's too tall.
I could just not be tired
Thanks,
the way I am.
Say hi, Mom.
Hi. Look, they back up. I love it. Don't take it off of this. If we go flying,
We're
I will
gonna
pee my
be
pants and laugh so
fine.
hard it won't be funny.
Just stop.
I will.
It's all right. You
Whenever-
won't be alone.
No, yeah.
Here you
On
go.
the ground, though, thank God. Oh, it's so sad.
Mom, whose fiber are you wearing? Latest fashion by WoolenWomenFibers. She's like drowning in it.
I'm scared of it.
The farm over to my right is one of the larger farms here in Lancaster County. They actually milk about 80 cows twice a day.
Oh, wow.
Which the majority of our farmers here milk 50 cows